Evening, everyone. TMA, the fans' verdict. Where you, the fellow fans, get your opinions on the game that has just happened, and that was last night's 2-2 draw at Home Park away to Plymouth Argyle. Big shout out to Mr. Duncan Rundband, Sir Dunk, non-echoing thing. That is a StreamYard problem, but we did say that. But yeah, you all right, mate?
Good evening. Not too bad.
Yeah,
nice to have the echo this time.
They say it is, mate. We got the pleasantries were done before we went on there, but we might as well make out that we've just met.
Exactly.
So just exactly, mate. Just before we get on, more full evening, mate. Yeah, Caden, I left Twitter because there's too many idiots, mate, on it, so I just couldn't be bothered. But I'm on Blue Sky now. I'm not woke. I've just put it on Blue Sky and just posted on there, but. I'm on that, mate. But just find me on Facebook. It'll be easier. Right, okay, so let's get all your man of the matches and any topics you want to talk about from yesterday's game. I'll get straight on with you, Dunk, and then obviously we'll roll with the punches, as we say. But victims of their own downfall there, mate, personally. But what do you reckon?
The worst thing is, I think that was actually our best overall away performance of the season. We had a control of majority of the game. Plymouth had, I think, 4 good chances off the top of my head. They had Gray's volley into the corner, which was the first chance of the game they had. They flashed one just right of the top right shortly after. You had Gray's 50p header near the end, and obviously Gray's screamer for the second equaliser. But it was a frustrating game because we had so many more good chances, and that's actually backed up with this stat here. Don't know if you can see my screen. So you can see here, as we know, we made lots of good chances. You had the Bio goal, which came off his groin. You had Porteous putting it wide and then scoring shortly after. Bio saved again, and a couple of decent half chances, such as Chakvetadze's long-range effort. And you can see here, we could normally, when you see an XG like that, you can normally see games going 4 or 5. But unfortunately, we didn't overperform it, and Plymouth, as you can see there, overperformed theirs by a point that just says any other game, they're not scoring any goals, let alone 2. I thought Loser was... Either Pollock or Loser would be my man of the match from Plymouth, to be honest. I think Loser's refound his form that we saw when he first joined. And I'm really happy he is, because we know what he can do. We know he can control the tempo of a game. We know he's got the intelligence. And having someone like Chakvetadze in the same team can open up teams like no one else can. So there's a lot more positives than negatives to take away from it, but it's just a shame. Out of anyone on the pitch who could have got those 2 goals for them, let alone in the manner they were, it had to be Andre Gray out of anyone but him. Bidge?
Yeah, no, I was just listening to you, mate. But yeah, it's anyone, and Dino said that when we were chatting during the game, because we're usually chatting play by play and all this stuff on Facebook Messenger, and he said exactly the same. All the people who bloody score. The second goal was absolutely brilliant from him, so I don't take it away from him. But you're looking from a defensive point of view, who was closing him down, who was allowing him that much space on the edge of the box to take a shot. You got to look from, like I say, from our point of view, that's very, very poor defending. But from Plymouth's point of view, it's a fantastic goal. I've got 1 or 2 Plymouth fans were messaging me as well, and I said to them, look, at the end of the day, we're victims of our own downfall. You deserve the draw because you got the 2 goals. And, we didn't defend well enough. But like you said, overall performance, I thought we were really, really good. It's just defensively, once again, we get caught by silly mistakes. Both goals were silly, but could have been avoided. But I'm glad for Bio. That's, was it 7 in 5 for him now? I think club and country. So that's obviously going to do his confidence a lot of good. Look, it doesn't matter if they're screamers like Andre Gray's or scrappy like Bio's. At the end of the day, if it goes in the net, it goes in the net. And that's all he'll look for, is the stat there for, like I say, 7 in 5. So really pleased for him. Equally pleased for Porteous as well. I thought decent goal. He took that well. So it was always going to be tricky there. I mean, their away form is shocking, just like ours. When they're unbeaten in 5 or 6 going into this game as well. At home, they've taken some notable scalps off of Blackburn and Sunderland, so we knew it was going to be a tough game. And the wheels are starting to turn for Rooney at Plymouth, and yeah, it certainly proved that. I mean, you knew Gray was going to be a threat. Or any kind of. I didn't think he was going to score 2 goals, but that way, the main player I was always looking out for is Whittaker. That was the obvious one. But yeah, it was just one of those games, and it was we've got to take positives out of it. Like you said, the performance, most of it was decent. I was pleased with most of it. Negatives were the poor defending and why we started to sit back and let him into the game, which is quite notable. It doesn't matter what coach we had. It seems to be a theme with a lot of coaches. But look, in the whole hindsight of things, Tom so far has done a fantastic job. We're starting to try and find that key to unlock those away performances. Once we can do that, then I think we'll be in pretty good nick. And table don't lie. We're up there on merit. We're up there because we've. Okay, the performances ain't been great away, but we've managed to get 7 points away this season. And the games that we have managed to get any points from, we've played really well. So we're on to the next one. There's a few very tough games coming up. I mean, the 2 games that we've got coming up now, they're no mugs. I mean, is it Bristol City and QPR?
I'm checking now, but that sounds right.
But they're no mugs. There's no team in this division, even QPR, that you can say you can take the piss out of them because they can easily come to us and do the dirty. Right, let's quickly shout out Caden. Evening, Caden, once again. From the Hornets Talk podcast, I'll shout you out, mate. He said it was a good performance in the first half and an awful second half. Very, very frustrating. And you just knew that Wanker was going to score, or Wanker was going to score 2 against us. Andrew's man of the match. Yeah, but no, it's a good shout there. It's also said Pollock, Morris, Porteous, Larucci, Loser, all played really well. Shaq Fatadze is very idiotic at times. Barr couldn't get on the ball a lot, which is extremely frustrating. Could be something to do with what their game plan is, where they may be isolating him, but yeah, I can't really disagree with what you were saying there, Kane. And also, big shout out, Kev posted earlier as well, his evening, all horrible weather, and the ref lost his whistle. Yeah, no, cheers. Evening, boys and girls. Thank you very much for watching, as always. You're all legends. Yeah, so just keep coming with your man of the matches and anything you want to talk about Plymouth related. Man of the match for me, yeah, I probably would go. Andrews played really well, I think. Andrews or Loser. Big pick. So Loser's getting better. He's not the finished thing yet. I still think he's psychologically never really got over his injury. His really bad injury he had a couple of seasons ago, but he's slowly turning now. The performances are getting slightly better each game now. I think a run of games is definitely going to be beneficial to Loser in the team, and I do think we'll see a much better version of him in the next few games as well, next coming months. But man of the match, mate, and anything else? What do you reckon?
Yeah, as I said before, Loser would be my man of the match for me. But I agree with the first half of what Caden said about who he said played well. Yeah, I'm in agreement with Nick here. I can understand what's happened. First half, we went all out. We were very dominant. Plymouth had 2 good chances, and they took one of them. We had 5 or 6. We took one of them. And then second half, what's happened is we are looking towards the next couple of games ahead. So I think what's cleverly done is that second half, he's told us to conserve energy, sit back and hit more on the counter. And I don't think he did a lot wrong with the first couple of subs, such as Georgie coming off for Kayembe. You can make an argument maybe for Ince perhaps or someone else, but ultimately, Chatford Tadze, when he came off, looked exhausted. I don't have a problem with that sub. I didn't see any value taking off Morris for Ciarolta, though. Or Ince for Bar perhaps, although Bar Bar did get on the end of a lot of balls, but Plymouth were very good handling him. They were very good at blocking him and actually reading what he was trying to do. So for me, I half agree with what you're saying there, Caden, about Bar couldn't get the end of it. It's more a case of most of the time he was running at his man, and either they read it well, or he just kicked off him for a corner, which on another day you never quite know. Yeah, I agree, Dave. I think I would have taken off Bar for Ince earlier.
Yeah.
It was clear Bar was also struggling with fitness near the end, which has been throughout the whole season. He's got better, but you can see he's still not got that full 90 necessarily in him yet.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I'll just read out a couple of them. Melanie's saying, I've said it again, and I said Melanie's agreed with Dave as well. But yeah, Nick's saying a bit harsh to say awful second half. Thought we were in total control throughout, undone by 2 world-class finishes, which is ridiculous considering who actually scored them. Absolutely right. Need a 20-goal striker. Yeah. I mean, we had something like Gorkarez a couple of years ago when he was at Coventry, even Hamer. We'd be in the top 3, top 2, mate. Absolutely.
I mean that point going back earlier where Nick's saying world-class finishes that Star had earlier, 2.15 XG for us, so we could have easily got more than 2 goals. Whereas theirs, all of their shots combined, wasn't even worth, in theory, half a goal. We know games aren't played on paper. But it backs up what Nick is saying, that we actually were defensively quite good. It was just 2 brilliant strikes, unfortunately, from the one player who really didn't want getting them.
He missed the taffet, apparently. Right, Melanie saying Andrews at fault for slapdash marking for the second goal. Loser, man of the match. Yeah, I'll probably agree with Loser. Yeah, like you said, I agree with Dave. Should have brought on Ince earlier. When you said about the likes of Dave being, his energy being, basically being rested for the next couple of games, which I can understand. The method of thinking, but you knew the minute we started sitting back, the likes of Whittaker and Gray were going to push on and try and press us as much as possible. And the problem is that you open yourselves up with strikes like we had coming for us yesterday, and look what happened. Yeah, what about the miss by Porteous? How did he miss the target? Do you think Gray's first was offside? Looked a bit to me. It was certainly tight. I don't think it was.
Having a look now, actually.
Yeah, I think it's certainly tight. Personally, I don't think it was, but that'd been nice if it was chalked off. I'll tell you what, though, it's funny how they didn't chalk that off, but Gray's goal against Luton back in 2021 was chalked off offside, and that was definitely not offside against the Scum. I know we've got to get over it, but
never.
Yeah, but
never.
No. Well, anyway, summary for that is obviously we've got to just we've got to work on this defending when we're sitting. If we have to sit back, which irritates me, and Dino will tell you this next time he's on a pod, it irritates us to the hills. I'll pop that up in a minute, mate.
That's right. Yeah.
But it really irritates us. So we've got to look at the obviously defending numbers. Get the ball out as quickly as possible. They can't score from 70 yards, so you might as well just lump it if you have to, if we're conceiving energy, and finish teams off. I mean, we really, if this is the Premier League, if we were a Premier League side with Premier League goal scorers, we've been about 5 goals up, really. But this is why it's the Championship. You can have 5 chances and put away 1. In the Premier League, you have 5 chances and put away at least 3 or 4.
Yeah,
that's the difference. That's the gap that you work the class drop when you go to the Championship. But I'll stop waffling, mate, and I'll get to share this vid, mate. Right, yeah, go on, mate.
Right.
It's over to you.
It's about Dave talking about whether Gray was offside or not earlier.
Yep.
So you can see that's the moment it leaves his foot, and to me, he looks onside. I don't. Nick, I was talking to someone else about this earlier today. Vidra is by far the most natural striker we've ever had in terms of, even Igalo during his purple patch, you always thought maybe the keeper could save it in a one-on-one. Vidra is the only striker I've ever seen where I think, yeah, he's going to score a one-on-one every single time. No other striker, not Deeney, not Igalo, not Fessy.
Mo Johnston, mate.
Before my
Luther and
time, but I know
Johnston.
he was meant to be pretty damn good on that one.
Luther and Johnston would do it, mate. But under the Potsos, 110% Vidra.
Yeah, he's the only one since I've been going where you have that had that level of confidence in him.
I'll tell you what, the other one that would do it. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. The other one would do it was Kevin Phillips.
That's not a bad shout. The one that also scored the penalty in the final as well back in 12.
But even Watford Phillips would have done it. He was the one first real player, because I mean, like I say, I was, obviously Johnston, I was too young to really remember Johnston or first incarnation of Luther, even though we know that would obviously happen. But Phillips is one of the real first ones that if he went one-on-one, he'd score. But Pozzo would 100% with Nick Vidra. Yeah. I mean, one-on-one, Vidra would score every single time. Mr. Stretch, all right, mate?
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Go on. I was waffling again. Go on. You go.
That's
go
right.
on about
I'm saying. So I think going back to original point, I think he was onside. I don't think he's at worst he's level. I don't think there's anything wrong with that goal from that perspective at all. To me, and it's a shame because I don't think we defended badly at all. It was just 2 brilliant strikes. We didn't play badly at all. As I said before, I think it was one of the most rounded displays of the season. And talking about a different player, Vacuum Bio. I thought his hold-up play was really damn good. I thought he worked really hard. He did lots of good running. He obviously got his goal early on, just about. But as you said earlier, whether it's a scream or a scruffy goal, it only counts as 1 goal either way. He should have got the second against near in the second half when he hit it off Grimshaw's leg, who came out well. He had their goalkeeper, Grimshaw, when I was there for the FA Cup, when we beat them, I think it was 2 or 3-0 at home. And he had a good game even then. After he got megged by Rivich early on, he recovered very well and made about 5-6 great saves before he got his second Rivich eventually. Grimshaw was no mug in this league, so I thought that goalkeeper had a very good game. And I don't think Batman... I've said before my doubts about Batman, but I don't think he was at fault for either goal in any shape or form. I know people might be talking about that little hop he did for the first, but most goalkeepers do that type of hop to help generate power in each subsequent dive. It's a natural thing they all do if you look at slow motion. Because it helps them stop being flat-footed. It gives them that ability to spring. It's just unfortunate that the way Gray hit it was right into the far side netting. So I have seen criticism of Batman for the first, and I think, even though I think he's a good person, and I think he is trying his best, I don't think that neither goal was any shape or form on him. Is my view on that one.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the Grimshaw's ex-City as well. That keeper
Is he?
too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's ex-City youth player. He's a decent keeper. Certainly one that's got a bright future ahead of him. Plymouth's a decent side to really nurture his talents, and I think they've got a couple of decent young players there as well at Plymouth. I think they just got to build on. I think their objective thing, this is not mean disrespectful, their main objective is to stay up and see if they can get as high up around mid-table as possible, I think, the first season, and then they'll try and kick on under Rooney. Someone's spamming, I think. Yeah, no, don't worry about that, mate. I think it's spamming on Streamlabs. I've got to hold that up and I'll speak to Twitch. Right, okay, yes, so on to the next couple. So obviously Bristol City on Tuesday at home at the Vic. It's Tuesday, I believe, and then Saturday against QPR. How many points do you reckon we're getting, boys and girls? I personally think we need to obviously aim for 6. I do believe that's possible. 4 at worst, but it would be nice coming out of QPR and talking about a possible unbeaten home stretch again would be nice. To be fair, what do you reckon?
Yeah, to be honest, I think 6 points is realistic. Bristol City is the one I think will be harder of the two in theory. My former at work, the former chief structural engineer, was a big QPR fan, so I'm definitely hoping for 6 points on this one.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But I
Yeah,
think
yeah, go on.
it is a realistic prospect getting all six there.
Yeah, I do think it is, and also it sets us up because let me just double check here as well, because we've got some tasty ones coming up. Obviously, you've got Portsmouth Boxing Day. Obviously, heading into December, it's going to be certainly be a humdinger of a month. Put it that way.
It's
So, like I
7
say,
games
Bristol
in a
City.
month.
Yeah, exactly. We've got Omar Ritz's Cardiff, if he's still there as well. I think he was doing a decent job at the
I was going to
start.
say, yeah, I'm happy for him. I thought it was a really
I'm
good bloke.
delighted, mate.
Yeah.
We had him on here one time on a Sunday talking about youth football, and he was obviously youth coach at Watford, and fantastic insight. Really, really lovely bloke. Took the time when he was. Thing is, also I think it was Boxing Day. It was when I met Wayne Andrews when he was waiting for his niece, and she was a mascot. Omar's come on. He's warming up. He's warming up the team, and they're over by the side, and he's literally come over to say hello and have a chat. And it was like he didn't have to do that. He's such a lovely bloke. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to give it the big one. I'm not mates with him or anything like that. It's only because he was on my pod one time and we were communicating via Twitter at the time. He remembered the pod and obviously came over, and he was such a lovely bloke. So I'm like you said, I'm really, really happy for him. So we obviously got 2 home games coming up. So that's Tuesday and Saturday. We've got Cardiff going into December. First game in December is Cardiff away. The following Wednesday we've got Hull City. That's not going to be an easy game by any means as well.
No,
then some really
1-0.
Yeah, then we've got Cardiff at the end of December as well. So we've got them twice in the league in December. Burnley and West Brom at home, and then Burnley as well going into Christmas. So yeah, it's going to be tough, mate. I'm looking forward to it. You know, every single game is winnable. I don't see any of those games, and I don't subscribe to this crap where we go away and it's a free hit. I mean, free hits never did us any help during the time we were in the Premier League, because we got relegated thinking about them. So every game is a possible 3 points as far as I'm concerned. But if we can beat a Burnley or someone like that away, that'll do fantastic amount of confidence for us. Those games. But go on.
This may age poorly, but Scott Parker's Burnley isn't as good as people think. I know this is very much risk of
Companies wasn't, to be fair, mate. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. But Companies, we should have beaten them both times. It was only because they got away with a late goal. We were pretty much on to beat them both times, weren't we?
Yeah, but it's more so Scott Parker's Burnley. I think there's no reason to be afraid of them this time. I think the only team that I really do think is a hard team to beat is Sheffield United in this league.
Yeah,
I think they're the only ones where you really do think you're an uphill battle when you face them. Everyone else, you think you have a realistic chance. Come on.
Yeah, no. I mean, look at the stats and everything. You're not lying at all, because they had 2 fantastic results at the start, and then they sort of went off the boil a little bit. Obviously, they're in where they should be, in and around the playoff, automatic spots, and you expect them to be like that around there anyway. Are you receiving? No, we're absolutely fine, mate. I don't know.
Yeah, because your comments coming through fine. Absolutely fine, Stuart.
Yeah, absolutely fine, mate. They're coming through, mate. I do agree. I don't think they're the same team. I do think they'll play into our hands a bit more. I'm not saying for any minute that we'll beat them, but I do think they'll play into our hands, and I do think Company's team played into our hands, because they played more open, and it seemed to suit the players that we had at the time. As long as no one does any back heels, they won't do a bloody hamstring this time. I mean, useless Kalu's here. Right, okay, go on, mate. It's yours.
Here you go. So this is just giving for the upcoming fixtures where teams are in this league at the moment.
The table don't lie, mate, and we're there on merit.
No, exactly. And if we got the win yesterday, it'd be 28 points. We'd be in 4th. This table is very compressed. All it takes is one team getting 2 or 3 wins or 2 or 3 losses, and you just flip. So, but people normally say, well, to wait till sort of the Christmas period, and you'll be in a roughly true position of where your team is. And this pretty much matches where we are. Cleverley's getting the absolute maximum out of this team. I'm really happy with Cleverley himself. You can see he is learning. He's made a fair amount of mistakes, and he's been rightly being criticised for it. But he's also acknowledging it and learning from it, such as with Plymouth, not playing so many players that come back from international break who aren't fresh. It might sound obvious, but equally, if your best players are coming back, you'd want to be playing your best players. So you can understand him making that mistake the first time against Luton, sadly, of all teams.
Yeah, they had the scum one today, didn't they? He beat Hull.
Yeah, but he's learning from his mistakes. Yesterday, he played a fairly fresh team of only maybe 2 or 3 that had come back straight back in. And we looked all the better for it. We looked because, as I said, that was our best performance of the season away overall. It's just a shame about those 2 worldie goals, really. But we are on the right tracks. Do you remember last year under Ismail, coming up to the first break, we were like second, I think it was. But we were saying at the time it's a false position. We didn't look great at the time. We didn't look awful, but we didn't look great.
Well, it was around that Rotherham time, wasn't it, when he spanked Rotherham? We were really on a high, weren't we?
Yeah, but that was maybe one of 2 highs of the whole season on that front.
Yeah.
Whereas this year, our performances are generally trending in the right way. Like pretty much every team in this league, there's caveats to that. But there's a lot more to be optimistic about than otherwise pessimistic about. We seem to be growing rather than shrinking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more positive when I come out of obviously the Vic. It's nice it's much easier to walk out the Vic when you're winning. But even the games that we're drawing or losing away, I mean, okay, the performance is not amazing, but I take more positives out of them than I did under a lot of Ismail's performances home and away as well. So yeah, definitely going in the right direction under Tom. And like I say, he's learning. I mean, I can take the learning thing with Tom because he is literally learning. He's not been he's been less than a year in first team management. So we will be learning. It was the only time me and Dino got really pissed off with this learning crap was oh, here we go. It's finally out. Yeah, sorry, Stuart. With this learning crap was when we were in the Premier League. And every time we lost, it was always a different player coming out. We're learning. It's like, shut up. But at least with Tom, he is learning. So he's going to...
honest. It's not just a soundbite. It's honest. And you can see the progress as well. And
it's genuine, isn't it?
It's not just genuine, but you can also see the development of him, not just acknowledging it, but actually working to fix it, even if it doesn't go to plan each time. You can see... I mean, to be honest... If we play that there, we're sitting in the stands. Just keep him in the stands. To be honest.
Oh, yeah, exactly, mate. Right, just before we go, Stuart, he says, "Way I see it, yesterday on our away form, point was massive. Yeah, absolutely agree. We have a shocking away form. This season is going to be tight. No club is running away with the league. Yeah, absolutely.
No,
look at the gap between the bottom, the strugglers and playoffs. I mean, if you go on a mini run of about 3 or 4 wins, you could be touching towards the playoffs, guys.
There you go. Sharing that table again.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
There you go. Just helps illustrate your point.
Do you see all this lot around here? I mean, from about 27 points, there's 10 points in it from near the bottom. The bottom 10, 11 points.
Even 22nd is only 11 points.
Yeah,
that's how compressed it is.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, it's like I said, just keep. Sorry, we're going to yawn here. Just keep it going. Everything's pointing to positively every single week. Even when we lose, we always pick out certain things we've done well. Obviously, plenty that we need to improve on. It's going well so far. Right, as we said yesterday, just before we go as well, and we'll say it live straight away. on the pod tomorrow. Just well wishes going out to Lufa. As much as people know that he's been ill recently, and what most people do, and he's awaiting tests. And I know most people know it's a bleed on the brain, so he's recuperating as far as I know, resting up, and so we're just waiting on other things happening. All we do is everyone can respect Lauren and Luther's privacy at this time, and just let him recuperate and rest. But I know for a fact that he knows all that everyone's messaging, and he's well loved in the Watford community, and he's a footballing god at the end of the day. So once again, all the best, Luther. Get well, mate, and hopefully see you back fully fit and ready to go at the Vic again. So that's it. Watford's favourite son, Luther Blissett. Get well. Right, if we got anything else, we will beat QPR from Stuart. I bloody hope so, mate. Starting with Bristol City as well, fella. But yeah, no, looking good, mate. I'm going to that game, so hopefully we will beat them. Right, just before we go, like I say, massive shout out to Dunk again. Thank you very much, mate, and Dino. Thursday night. Just remember, tomorrow night, you choose the topics, we will discuss them. That's as ever, TMA Sunday Night Live, 8 p.m. I'm on a 1 until 6 at night, so I'll be in after that, so we'll definitely do the pod. My Facebook ban for posting a meme taking the piss out of Lee Cusack, that runs out tomorrow, so I'll be able to post up on the forum again. Literally got banned by Facebook on my forum for posting up that thing of Stan's dad by a laptop, by his computer. They literally banned me for nudity, for that, for a South Park meme, for South Park meme, South Park meme. That was it. But hey ho, I'm off. I will see you tomorrow. Myself, maybe Wendover, maybe get Greg Thieker back on. Myself, Moobs, Dina's having a day off, so we'll get Canadian Darren on as well. So so thank you ever so much, guys and girls. And we'll see you tomorrow. Dunk, anything you want to say before we go?
Come on, you want.